always so eager to make everyone feel welcome. He broke his dish when I dropped mine. He learned as a blind pew at the Admiral Benbow. And Jim Hawkins, being George, he thought the Second War was a sanctuary of fellows. Not so, said the Cyclops. His anger at everything was shining and made old by one-eye's sadness. The ether, the knife, the fictional home. I've checked the daylight, the drops of blood, worked my big toe on my right foot, asleep on the next toe, resting. Your savior obsession, the Mass, the civil privileges given us by you, the false foot forward on our property, the orange robe visits with our other preferences, like the hair rubbed off the beard against the tree on the veldt, the head wrinkled by age, fat as ever, back to front, with an angel arriving and untangling those gone. Eunice is gone. Dead, dead, dead. Fred's dead. Hercules died without me. Chloe too. Ernie Donner dead. Now, Doc's gone. In between the delivery room in the hospital and the new brick house on Cheyenne Drive, I lived with my grandma and grandpa on the North Crescent. They lived in a small house like their neighbors. There were a few very grand places, but they were hard to imagine as I was 1 and 2 years old. Grandma's floors were very polished, and there was a small stained glass on the way upstairs. My mother and I slept in one of the 3 bedrooms. There was also an attic, but I was too afraid to look in it. Our bathroom smelled of old folks. It was tiled white with black tesserae for accent, and the toothbrushes lying around had lost their hair. In the basement was my grandpa's wizard table, where he did his sleight of hand thinking. His hammer held the most power, and the noise it made when it struck a nail, or for that matter, any surface, amplified the random anger swimming around there from his porcine fist. I have raised the ongoing tension question. Stepping up the alert status. I seek your understanding. I'm affected by the access in and out. We are mothering relevant governments, and military watercolors are vibrant and at attention. The girl, the angel, the Rembrandt portrait of defection, exhaling clouds of life into the cold air. I feel love really up there inside you. New appearances. Where's that, she asked. America. America is marching in an unlikely manner. 1,000 lines of battle. 2 feathers come to campground. Mr. and Mrs. Bullock, upstairs coyotes, unfaithful coyotes, cougars, wheat fields, unfaithful apple trees on the side of the Jerusalem hills, unfaithful 5-year-old fingers, unfaithful, faithful, and unfaithful wives, husbands, the landscape, unfaithful friends and cousins, my grandchildren, the neighbors across the road and their animals, your plants, the people who tend your plants, unfaithful. voice, the answer, the moon. The crook of my arm moves the flesh. The blue desert, to no effect, high and verdant, animals are chilling your lavender, is fading to lavender, your lavender. Please send me home to the edge of the evening. The blood moon, you miss it, and October will crowd itself to no effect. Speak, the Joseph poem, the shining bed with phallus. It turns to dust, the Son of God appears. A gold baby, the audience witnesses the birth. The proprietor, an old guy wearing his own conversation. Like a regular customer looks at the radio. Very loud in the middle of the night. Or is it tomorrow night, killing the session? And Marc, of an unlikely messenger, knowing the website of the government's channels, the ongoing development between northern and southern property owners, the try to beware of, top man, deep purple reflex, his bouquet of juniper bears witness to the soldiers, well knit by the lies of autumn. Styria, once again, its complex soil is a vagina of money. The expression of rage, blessed soul, and screaming tenor, listening to the impulse of strokes, the history of screams. Bernini, damaged by a crack, executed and invented by memory, shaping the new Christian roadblock. Bring me my charcoal sticks, God damn it! I must draw the popes, the bust of the popes, Urban, Paul, Reuben, John, Francis. I must make their blurred faces and mark on the paper, the buildup of carbon on my palms, on my palms. Who was George? North of the Villa Borghese. George, where Pope Julius lived, in a leafy green room. George was always fucking eager for his orange trees to make everyone feel welcome in his quiet haven. He broke his dish when I dropped mine. I paid my entrance fee. George learns of Blind Pew at the Admiral Benbow. His Jewish classics, like the Pantheon, for instance, were so sure the Second War was the sanctuary follows. Not so, said the Cyclops. It's full of pain and his anger. Everything was shining and made old by one-eye's sadness, the ether and the knife, a ghetto tradition, slightly scorched around the edges. George, to avoid competition, fills the cavities with nuts. George, you're a brave man. On the next toe, you've been a lot of places. Your savior obsession, the dark section doesn't hold the civil privileges you might find on any people's telephone. Us by you, kid. Did the cab come or stand on your false foot forward? How about a little light on our own property? Tonight, a rebuke. Do you think you're being too Christian? Do you think you're being too Chinese? This is a perception of pirates giving me the black spot by the Creator. The black spot, privacy, a coming of age word. My sea chest, stolen by my relative or some local acquaintance who empties my house of sacred objects that I owned and was able to buy because of the gifts in my left hand. All of your purses on the bed, clawed at by the children, owned by them now. so meaningless, the robbery in my heart. 2 thieves and the victims, all swimming in our tears. Caressed by gold and foundry cost. In front of our eyes, the boy removes the hot ore. There's little left now to steal in America. Marching and eating as fast as we can. Japan winning the contest. So my brother won't leave his room. Okay, broken and sure of his comb over, a Martian's waffle, bacon, and sovereign freedom. Safe and waiting for papal rule. Eggs, pancakes, no death penalty. Moths carrying me along through the moon's glow, pale and sweating, stealing your flutter and your carnal smile. I've become a tramp, my daughter. I smell you through my aching knees in the sweet by and by. The fear of passion is hard to sustain. The music of the Virgin's touch is more like Jesus. Then the earth starts to dread the star missing you. I really should try loneliness. I called to say, breakfast was great, forgive me for being old. The wild family, meanwhile, will tell me that the trees grow wild again over us, on top of us. Happy, anew, parrot at sunrise. My ferocious image and winter's breath, 3 a.m., 2 Venuses on Kozo paper. In me, I'm me, thanks to the loss of labor and systemic sprays. Our entree to completely missing the point about what this poem is about. Our imperfect life, but our life and age, that's what counts. Replacing the sewer pipes in our town. Underground, new deep holes, rooted in a very real landscape. The place beyond the words, a slight, clear, ravishing voice is a hopeless hazard. The moon fills the silent house. Earth gives birth to time. And heaven is a jealous parliament. The mad dog is swimming in the icy waters, not having any idea about the mysterious temperature of age. Home is where bugs crawl on our heads. At night, after you hit the floor like a barber pole, a black abstraction whispering across the history of color. This week, I painted. The possibility of permanent silence. Well, it could happen. Even though I'm so happy trying to hold the tightness of this celebration of neighbors, this family understanding how paper can undulate. I kiss you. I hear the Indian water in my fingers. The boatman's confession is a mysterious boulevard. Brings you soft, slaying to my voice, leaning back on the front seat of the truck. Down a long, green street, there's an exit by your ankles. Fabulous. Marking at stones, a blind, futile event in my mind. A light in my resident body walks the halls of world issues on the side panel. Beautiful, beautiful Canada, sitting in the country, I smell your hair, your scalp. The last time it was Pep's, before she was gone. The magnificent break of arteries and the road to blood. garden is in full bloom here. The air is fecund with her odor. And why not? Art of age. Art of age. How kind God was to the sculptor. So kiss him again. Kiss him again. How can you ask me? Kiss him again. Am I blue? The break is perfect. The alarm clock of visiting Xanax. The whole point is delicacy. The sign of its pale color. Tenderness of the new apricot buds. The sudden appearance of little fruit, fuel for the painter, the dream blossom of a long ago garden, bland, in the old positive sense, suave. This is a dear life. Thanks, folks. We could probably do it again, be more intense.